Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for the road to my 842nd Platinum Trophy. Today's game is Resident Evil 4 Remake. This is the PS4 version of the game, as it did the PS5 version quite a long time ago now, like almost 100, well, no, I think it was over 100 Platinums ago at this point. But anyways, this is, of course, the remake for Resident Evil 4. It's a pretty solid game, but the Platinum Trophy does require quite a bit of effort. I mean, a lot of Resident Evil games do. I mean, a lot of them require quite a few playthroughs, and this one is definitely no different. So we'll be getting to that here in a second. I think the minimum time you could do it in is probably, I don't know, maybe 3 playthroughs at absolute minimum if you were really, really good at the game. So there's our S+ rank investigator, and because boredom kills me. I mean, you're going to get a little bit bored by the 5th or 6th time you have to play through this game, though. I will say that. So let me go ahead and save my game. Alrighty, so that's all done, and then this should get me another one of those point thingies. So that's one problem with this game, is that it being the PS4 version, it doesn't play quite as well. It loads slower, there's a little bit of lag sometimes. Nothing overly bad, it's just, you know, a minor nuisance. So anyways, with the Platinum Trophy, it's not overly difficult if you're willing to use the extra items that you can buy from the store, or at least if you're willing to make some sacrifices to integrity, I guess you could say. But we'll get to that here in a second. So parrying an enemy with a knife is basically unmissable. You're going to get this many times throughout a playthrough. Upgrading a weapon is unmissable. Exclusive upgrade for a weapon, you can either do that with the exclusive upgrade tickets, or you can do it with the exclusive upgrade paid tickets, the ones that you can purchase from the PlayStation Store, but again, we'll get to that in a second. Or you can actually just pay for the upgrade if you spend enough money on it. Complete a request for the merchant, you're going to have to do all of them anyway for a different trophy. This one is basically unmissable because Ashley's still an idiot, though she's slightly improved from the original game. Because compared to the original Resident Evil 4, in that game, Ashley, well, obviously she was extremely dumb there, but another issue was that she actually had her own health bar that you had to take care of, and you could upgrade with yellow herbs. In this game, basically, she gets knocked down sometimes, and if you don't pick her back up quickly, she'll end up dying if she gets, like, hit by anything else. Clockwork Castellans is a collectible type, so we'll come back to that later. Del Lago and Mendez are both bosses that are unmissable. The Vertigo is a boss, but you don't technically have to kill him. If you're able to survive about 4 minutes, you can run away without actually killing him. Salazar, Krauser, and Sadler are also unmissable story-related bosses, so you're going to get quite a few trophies no matter what when you beat the game. 3 enemies at once with a flash grenade. This is very easily done against the crows in the first El Gigante arena, the first time you go through it. Then the Garrador using only knives. This is very easily done against the first Garrador you encounter because there are no other enemies in that area, and it's only one Garrador. 2 parasites inside a regenerator. This one's very easy to do when you get to chapter 13, when you get to that room that has 4 regenerators in it, and you have to kill one of them that has a wrench inside of him to forward the story, so that's a great place to do this one. This is a boss fight specific trophy from the end of chapter 12. This is pretty much unmissable because you kind of have to use the cannon to deal with the catapults, and you'll probably end up killing at least a few enemies with each shot. This is in chapter 6 or 7, I want to say 7. Then make it through the minecart sections. This actually isn't that difficult. You can do it on assisted difficulty, but if you don't get it there, if you equip the gas mask ability, you sort of auto-lock onto the enemies, and you shouldn't have much of a problem there as long as you know where they're coming from. This one is still just a little bit annoying. I ended up doing it on my RPG playthrough, which was my 3rd playthrough, but again, we'll get to that later. There's probably a better, more efficient way to do it than what I did, but it ended up working, so no complaints there. It's just a little bit tricky because there's not really a save point all that close to it from what I remember. Then the water scooter, this is the very end of the game. I did this on most of my runs, but clearly not on this final run because I was just kind of silly or stupid and hit something. Sell a single treasure for 100,000 pesetas. You can do this with the Royal Crown, or the Elegant Crown, whatever it's called, that has 5 gem slots, and make sure each gem slot is a different colored gem. Then you have to find all the treasures in each area of the game in a single playthrough. These can each be done in a separate playthrough technically, but you have to get all the treasures in any one area during one playthrough. So it's best, what you want to do for your very first playthrough of the game is complete the game on assisted or standard, and learn the game, learn how it works, and find all of the collectibles in the game, all of the treasures, all of the Castellans, knock out all the miscellaneous trophies that you can, stuff like that. Obtaining all the weapons, you have to purchase some of them. Other ones you will end up getting pretty much for free if you go explore. And then there are a few bonus weapons. Now that's where this trophy was originally the hardest thing in the game, because there are 3 special weapons. You have the Primal Knife, which I don't remember how you get, but it's not that hard to do. Then you have the Chicago Sweeper, Chicago Typewriter. You get that by getting an A rank or higher on professional difficulty, I believe is how you get it. I believe that's correct. Yeah, an A or higher. I think I ended up getting an S on professional, but an A or higher, and you end up getting the Chicago Sweeper, which is the Tommy gun, and it's great for its special exclusive upgrade. Then the last one is the hand cannon. Now, the hand cannon initially was only unlocked by completing the game on professional with no bonus weapons. So you were allowed to save as much as you wanted, which was good, but completing the game with no bonus weapons on professional is very, very difficult. You were allowed to, of course, purchase things from the merchant throughout your playthrough, but that meant, no infinite RPG, no infinite Chicago Sweeper, infinite Primal Knife, or anything like that. So it was originally quite difficult, but they later changed the game. They patched in the Mercenaries mode, and to get the hand cannon now, all you have to do is get an S rank on each stage with any character. And there's only, I think there's 4 stages now, but only the first 3 actually count toward getting the hand cannon. So it's significantly easier to obtain now, because getting an S rank on the Mercenaries maps doesn't really take a whole lot of time. You have to complete all the requests from the merchant. You want to do this on your first playthrough. There's like 30 of them in this game or something like that. The Clockwork Castellans, there's 1 per chapter. You want to do that on your first playthrough. You might get this at the end of your first playthrough, or you'll get it later on a subsequent playthrough. So we'll come back to the S plus ranks here in a second. Hardcore, same thing. The hardcore and standard mode trophies auto pop if you complete the game on professional. And then you have to complete the game in under 8 hours, which you'll get on one of your multiple playthroughs, no problem. So what you really want to do in terms of combining some of these different trophies that you're seeing here, skipping out on the shooting range for the moment, is on your second playthrough, you want to complete the game without talking to the merchant and while using, where's the other trophy for it? Using only knives and handguns, excluding a few specific moments such as the rocket launcher that you use at the very end of the final battle. So you're going to want to do your second playthrough in New Game Plus on Assisted, and you're going to want to complete the game without talking to the merchant and using only knives and handguns. I would highly recommend that you make a save right at the end of your first playthrough, and then you reload that save once you've completed the game, and then you can upgrade the Primal Knife and have it fully upgraded to where it becomes infinite. That makes this a lot easier. You don't need it. I forgot to do that on this version of the game, but I still managed to get the trophy. It was a little bit tougher, but nothing major. Then for your third playthrough, you're going to want to complete the game on professional and get an A rank for finishing the game in under 7 hours, and you're going to want to do it while using the infinite rocket launcher on New Game Plus and without healing. So that's much easier said than done, because there's a few areas where you can really, really easily take damage, such as the whole Novistador room, because there's no way to just kill all the Novistadors by destroying the hive like you could in the original version of the game. So that was the third playthrough I did. And then your fourth playthrough, you would want to do a standard S plus rank, which is complete the game on a new game in under 5 hours, but you are allowed to use your special weapons, so you'd want to go ahead and get the hand cannon unlocked, as well as the Chicago Typewriter, the Primal Knife, and of course Ashley's Knight Armor, because that removes her from being an issue. And then your fifth and final playthrough, you would want to complete the game on Hardcore with an S+. Surprisingly, you don't actually auto-pop the silver trophy here for completing the game on Hardcore with an S+, but both trophies will auto-pop if you complete the game on Professional with an S+, so I don't know what that is. Speaking of auto-pop, you can actually auto-pop all the trophies from PS4 to PS5 if you did it that way, but of course I wanted to play on PS5 first. And then finally we have the 3 shooting range trophies. Complete any one game at the shooting range is basically unmissable unless you really just avoid it. S-rank all the games, there are 12 total, and this isn't the easiest thing in the world. A few of them definitely take several tries, but it's nothing too difficult. Like they might take a few tries each later on, but once you sort of get the hang of it and figure out, what the points are you have to get, it's not too bad. And this last trophy you can pretty much get on some of the D-level shooting galleries, so the final set of them. Or set 4, whatever it's called in this game. Whatever the last set is that you get, those are probably the best ones to do this with, because you're going to have a lot of times where multiple targets are coming at you quickly. Then, of course, there is DLC. I haven't gotten started on it yet. I did finish it on the PS4 version, and it contains by far the hardest trophy in the game, or excuse me, the PS5 version. The first 3 trophies are all unmissable story-related trophies for finishing this DLC's 7 chapters. And then you have to complete it on standard, hardcore, and professional, so those are pretty self-explanatory. But by far the hardest trophy in the entire game is for completing separate ways on professional with an S+, because the time limit for this is extremely strict. It's like 2 or 2.5 hours or something, plus on professional, and I think the only real advantage you get is that you can use the upgrade tickets on the Chicago Sweeper. So, speaking of the upgrade tickets, that's another thing that makes this game a lot easier, is that nowadays you can actually purchase a pack of upgrade tickets, golden upgrade tickets from the PlayStation Store. You can buy 1 at a time, or you can buy up to 3 at once for a slight discount. And those can be used on every single save file that you have for the game, and they can also be used in separate ways. And they immediately allow you to purchase the final special upgrade for any weapon, and you can do that for the Chicago Sweeper in separate ways once you get to Chapter 2, and it definitely makes this DLC a heck of a lot easier than it would have been. You can also sell your extra tickets for a lot of money if you need to purchase some upgrades. So, yeah, not particularly looking forward to doing separate ways again, because that S Plus was actually quite difficult, quite strict. But otherwise, the Platinum Trophy, if you want to use those other abilities out there, the golden tickets especially, it's a lot easier. If you don't want to use those, it's definitely going to be harder, more like probably a 6 out of 10 or so. Though with the easier way to obtain the hand cannon now, it's not as much of a problem. I don't really consider that cheating, because that's something that they patched into the game, and actually in the original Resident Evil 4, Mercenaries mode was how you unlock the hand cannon in the original Resident Evil 4, so I don't really see too much of an issue with that one. Alright, so with that, level 881, 89%, 29,256 total trophies, 842 platinums, 5,617 golds, 7,854 silvers, 14,943 bronzes. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a future upload. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the Resident Evil 4 remake, if you've done this platinum, if you've done it twice. I've now done most of the Resident Evil games in the main numbered series, with the exceptions of Resident Evil 0, haven't done that one yet, the PS5 version of Resident Evil 7, the PS4 version of Resident Evil 6, because it has so much multiplayer that I really don't want to have to boost again, and both versions of Resident Evil Village, which I still really need to do that one at some point. So, thank y'all for watching. See y'all back here real soon for some more trophy content.